Welcome back, Devils fans. Another game, another painful loss in Vegas. The Devils lose this afternoon by a score of 3-1. And, at this point, cheers, Devils fans. Another painful one. Today's video brought to you by Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. I'm running low, so I'm going to mix in some other things here. I can't go with the Jack on back-to-back games without a full day in between. So I'm on a little something lighter here. And it was a painful one. We lose 3-1. Jakeallen deserved better for his efforts tonight. He single-handedly kept us in the game. The Devils were thoroughly dominated in a game where we probably would have lost, 5 or 6-1 with one of our other goalies in goal. And so Jakeallen, the only silver lining is now he's had back-to-back solid performances for this Devils club. If only we could have had him a month or two ago. But thoroughly dominated in every asset of the game today. And it was another painful one. I'm not even getting angry anymore because everything was drained of me last night. And, it is what it is. Totally not enough to get it done. And this team doesn't deserve a playoff spot. And so even now, I think the most optimistic people have checked out after today's game. But first period, Dawson Mercer scores a nice goal that gets reviewed by the league to see if he had kicked it in. And indeed, there was no distinct kicking motion, so the goal is allowed to stand. But then Vegas challenges for goaltender interference. Timo kind of grazed Thompson coming through the crease. The league has just become entirely too soft in my opinion. He didn't bowl the goalie over. That's one thing, but there has to be able to be some level of light contact when the goalie's coming out and getting aggressive. Like, this is hockey. I mean, to have a little bulletproof cloud around goalies where they can't be touched at all, I think is kind of ridiculous. But the Mercer goal comes off the board, and terrible, kind of deflating at the moment. I was super jacked that we took the lead there. Jakeallen made a ton of great saves. He made one on a breakaway while we were on the power play. And, Bratt had another great chance that he got stoned off a nice pass from Nico. Bratt stoned in close. And the first period ends 0-0. We go to the second. We're getting dominated some more. Another power play that we surrendered a breakaway against. Jakeallen comes up big again, making a huge save on the breakaway while on the power play. And there's not much I could say about Jakeallen. He absolutely played lights out today, following up his performance in Dallas with another strong outing, and he deserved better. The offense, unfortunately, couldn't get it going, and, he put us in a position to steal this game. Had we won the game today, it would have 100% been stolen by Jakeallen, but the offense, like many nights, the story was the offense just was nowhere to be found, and we came up short in Vegas, and it sucks. It sucks to see a great goaltending performance like that squandered because we haven't gotten too many of them on the year. And it also seems like a thing where when we do get great goaltending, the offense disappears. So this New Jersey Devils club very rarely got great goaltending and a great offensive output on the same night. It just wasn't in the cards for us most games this year. Scoreless after 2. We head to the third. Bratt gets stoned on another great chance. Vegas has a failed clearing attempt, and Nico cashes it in. At 38 seconds, Devils take the 1-0 lead. I am now thinking, wow, Jakeallen is going to steal this game for us. What a phenomenal outing this man is displaying. But the lead was not to be had for long. A little over 2 minutes later at 2:57, Vegas strikes, tying it up at 1. On that goal, I hate to be negative, but, John Marino, just absolutely pathetic attempt of bodying the man in front and clearing the crease. He got completely bitched out. The dude's in the crease, all up in Allen's face. Marino just getting bodied and getting bullied in front of his own net, and that absolutely cannot happen. It cannot happen, and when you cannot clear the crease in this league, you're going to get goals against the way that one was scored. Screens, can't have it. You got to get that guy out of the paint, and he was in perfect position. Marino in terrible position, and he couldn't move him. And I need guys now. During the summer, we need a defenseman or two that is not going to allow this to happen. We can't keep getting bullied in front of our own net. It's just a recipe for disaster. And Vegas ties it up 1-1 and the game remained tied at 1 for a while, and then at 11:06, Jack Eichel's flying up the middle with some speed, and he just rips a beautiful shot past Allen, giving them the 2-1 lead, and that's how the game remained until the waning moments with the goalie out. And at 19:41, Carlson gets one on the empty net to seal it up for Vegas, 3-1. And Jakeallen, again, the story of the game. Really good game for Jakeallen, and it's the only silver lining from the game. And now I am very confident going into the next season with him as the backup. I was kind of on the fence when we got him. Again, I wish we'd got him way before, but that's water under the bridge now. And so after these last 2 games, Jakeallen has showed me enough that I do think he is going to be a great backup goaltender for this New Jersey Devils club for the 24-25 season. Where I start to worry is I think these things are going to fuel Tom Fitzgerald to believe that we don't need to spend the assets or cap space to get that legitimate marquee goalie, and that he will be fooled into believing that Jakeallen is enough. That is my worst fear. I've talked about it several times on the channel. If that happens, I will mutiny. I will be furious. And I think games like this could only maybe perpetuate that idea in Fitzgerald's head. Great game by Allen. I don't want him to see him be the starter next season, but I love him as a backup. And now we need to get that big name goalie in free agents, not free agency, but in the summer. And I'm hoping it's Saros. I really do. I don't know if Fitz is going to have the trigger finger in the stomach to part with the assets that we will need to part with to send to Nashville to get Saros here. But I think at this point it must be done. It must be done. A year like this, a game like today, was not on the goalie, but it shows the difference that having a solid goalie does for your club. I mean, we hung around in this game. We had no business in this game. We were thoroughly outplayed. Let's take a look at the game stats here. They should be updated. Yeah, Devils dominated almost every department. Devils with 21 shots. The Golden Knights with 37. Face-offs fairly even. Devils with 51.9. The Knights with 48.1. Devils with 10 hits. Again, that's very low. The Golden Knights with 21 hits, so they more than doubled our hits. Devils 12 block shots. Vegas 21 block shots. Devils with 3 giveaways. Golden Knights with 7 giveaways. And the Devils with 7 takeaways versus 15 takeaways for the Golden Knights. And that kind of tells the tale of the game. We were dominated in pretty much every category. Not a great game. And Jakeallen's the only positive coming out of the game. And now I guess I don't even know. Going forward, I guess just get Jakeallen as many reps as possible just to kind of get him used to maybe playing with some of the defensemen and things. But it would have been really nice to steal this game. It feels really good to win games that you don't deserve to win, and today was one of them. And if somehow we pulled the win off, it would have been it would have felt really good to steal one against the team that's hoping to compete for a Stanley Cup. But I was talking to one of my other buddies, shout out to Steve, during the game, and John Marino, I think I'm ready to move on from him. Like that goal there, it's just, you got to do better. And I feel like that's just been the story of the year with a lot of the defensemen. And, I want to see some nasty stay-at-home defensemen. We were discussing the 2000 Stanley Cup Championship New Jersey Devils, and I believe that's one of the greatest it is definitely one of the greatest Devils teams ever assembled, but it should be a template for Devils teams and even for the league to see how you build a well-rounded roster, specifically on defense. And we didn't have all these freewheeling, skating defensemen that the analytics department obsess over. We had puck movers paired with stay-at-home nasty defensemen. So Scott Stevens, nasty stay-at-home defenseman, paired with Brian Rafalski, the mobile quarterback, puck-moving D-man. And then we had the same thing with the second pairing of Kenny Danico, stay-at-home nasty man, clear the crease, smash your people up, with Scott Niedermayer, one of the greatest skaters and defensemen in NHL history. And then the third pairing was Malikov and Colin White. I like one of each. Give me the puck mover and give me the nasty stay-at-home guy, and that's it. I don't need a team of Luke Hugheses and Shimo Nemitzes that are going to carry the puck and that the analytics department fawn over. No. Break those guys up and pair each one of them with a nasty stay-at-home D-man. That is the formula for success, even in today's league, I believe. And having all these puck-carrying, offensive-minded defensemen is not the way. I want to see the silky smooth skater with the nasty, nasty, clear the crease, knock your guys in the face type defenseman. Hopefully this summer, again, one of the things we talked about time and time again is the roster needs an overhaul a little bit. And I think we need a minimum 1 or 2 defensemen. I would love to move on from both Marino and Siegenthaler and see more of these nasty type stay-at-home D-men in place of them going into next year. And I think we need some grit up front as well. You know, sometimes you got to gut out ugly wins. And the team is entirely too soft. I've talked a lot about how I'm not a huge fan of the analytics, because I think the analytics is what kind of traps your team into getting a lot of the same type of players, and none of them have grit. And so, you know, if these analytics departments existed back in 2000, I'm not sure what they would have said about Colin White or a Kenny Danico. But I could tell you that, again, with the eye test and watching the game, you need those type of guys to win. And so I do think the analytics in sports in general, but specifically hockey and even more specifically the New Jersey Devils, has played way too big of a role in roster construction. And I would like to see a little bit more of the human element interjected, where people look at the team, look at the games, and they say, yeah, we have been getting beat up. We have been getting pushed around. We do need some snarl, yada, yada. And that might not all be reflected in analytics. There's more than just numbers and data when constructing a roster. And hopefully we start looking at making these types of changes to the team, because we're not going anywhere with the team as it's constructed. And so now we look ahead to the slate coming up. A terrible 1-2 road trip, winning in Dallas and then losing to the Coyotes yesterday, losing to the Knights today. Tuesday night, Sid and the Pens come to town. Their playoff hopes are pretty much gone as well, but, you know, interesting game. Always like to see Sid, one of the greatest players and ambassadors of the sport in NHL history. So we got the Pens on Tuesday the 19th. Tyler Toffoli returns as a Winnipeg Jet on Thursday the 21st. And then Saturday night, we host the Ottawa Senators. And, God, I would love to get Brady Tkachuk from them in the summer. That would be something. Those rumors came out, and I was salivating about a month ago that he might be on the block. Who knows if it's true or not. But if you're Tom Fitzgerald, you absolutely have to do your research, do your due diligence, drop a call into Ottawa and see if you can pry him away. I would give a lot to get Brady Tkachuk. A guy like him, I think, his style of play is exactly what we need, and I think that would kind of carry over to some other guys and become somewhat contagious. He is just a feisty, nasty guy in every category, really, and I think you need those type of guys to win. I would love to see it. Let me know in the comments what you thought about the game. What did you think about Jake Allen's stellar performance? What do you think about the rest of the season? Anything Devils hockey, throw it out there. I have to mention tomorrow we will drop the interview with Scott Gomez. A pretty good conversation I had with Scott Gomez. Really awesome time talking to him. That will pop up tomorrow. And we got some other cool things in the works. So just keep your eye out. I'll be here talking smack and talking Devils hockey till the casket dips. And, yeah, another gutting loss, but it is what it is. The 23-24 New Jersey Devils. And they're going to owe me a liver transplant. The team certainly has contributed to my issues. And when I need a new liver, hopefully they have some sort of connection for me at RWJ Barnabas Health where I could get a new liver. And I will say this one is on the 23-24 New Jersey Devils. Hook me up with that liver. All right, that's it. That's all I got for you. Another terrible one, another stinker. The only thing I got positive today is Jake Allen will be a solid backup for us next season. And that's it. Throw it all out in the comments. Talk to you guys all soon. I'm still looking forward to, we have about 2 weeks from now, the rematch with the Rangers. That might be one of the only things left to look forward to on the season. And that's it. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils.